Hello, this is Jacqueline with Vibrational Energy Solutions, and today I wanted to share with you a wonderful story as well as some wisdom that I learned from one of my teachers, Charlene Ackerman. Charlene was my hypnosis instructor, a fellow biofeedback practitioner, as well as a dear friend. So this story takes us back to September of 2009, 10 years ago. And a couple of Charlene's favorite sayings had to do with our hypnosis work, and they were used for helping people to relax. One is, every day, in every way, I get better and better and better. Every day, in every way, I get better and better and better. The other is relax, relax, relax. The more that I relax, the better that I concentrate. The better that I concentrate, the more that I relax, relax, relax. So Charlene led an amazing life. She was an inspiration. She traveled the world, and one of her biggest passions was to go overseas and help girls who had fallen into a path that was not one that was very empowering. Prostitution, young girls. It was amazing to hear the stories of how she helped shift these girls into the spirit of being empowered, and learning to create their lives from a space of having nothing to working with them. She worked through some type of a girls' school, I believe, and it really helped her to make a difference in the world. But she had such a beautiful following of practitioners and other hypnosis people that she had trained. She had made an impact with her clients. She was just such an amazing person, always so bubbly. Her license plate said, "Yes, you can." And I just loved her so much. So this takes us back to September of 2009, when she passed away at 73. She had battled cancer, and she was always so bright and cheerful, and I absolutely loved her. And what I wanted to share with you was, during her transition time, I was going through a transition of my own that was quite difficult. I was separating from my marriage. I had been married for almost 15 years at that time, and had decided that it was time for me to leave. For me, my mechanism for survival tends to be raising a white flag of surrender and leaving, running away. And so that was a pattern that I got to realize and work through. And so I don't know if you can relate to that, but I wanted to share that you're not alone if that is something that you have done or are working through yourself. So what I wanted to share was, at that time I left Wisconsin and I went out to see my brother in California, and we went on a spiritual pilgrimage, which was amazing. Even though it was a very difficult time in my life, I was seeking solace in nature and in spiritual places. And so what I did was, we went together to Mount Shasta, to Ashland, Oregon, and to Sedona. So I had stopped in Sedona on my way to my brother's, and then went ahead and we went together again. And then when I left my brother's, I was on my way to Colorado to take some more classes. And on my way to those classes, I chose to stop in Sedona one last time. I timed my stop in Sedona based on wanting to be at the airport vortex at sunset. And as I was arriving, I was about 20 minutes out watching the sun, 20 miles out watching the sunset. And I started to get a little hard on myself, that because timing has always been one of those things that I've been working on. And when I chose in that moment that I was going to consider that I was arriving at the perfect time, I wasn't going to judge myself. I was going to acknowledge that whatever time God had me getting there, there was a reason for it, and I got to experience it in its fullest. So I pulled up to the airport vortex, and there was a little bit of light left. I started hiking up the vortex, and I had these sandals on. Actually, I think they were flip-flops. They had like zero tread on them, and I hadn't really thought about it. I was just so excited to get up to the vortex to meditate. I knew Charlene was going through some transition and knew that I wanted to have some deep time of prayer to myself. So I started climbing the pathway up the rocks and got almost to the top. There was actually someone still on top playing the Native American flute. And so I stopped just below the top. There was like a ledge up. And so I went ahead and I sat against the rock. And I closed my eyes. I prayed. I prayed for Charlene, knowing that it was the end of her time on this earth. And I was praying for the angels to enfold her, and to give her comfort and peace. And then I was praying for my family, for myself, for my son, and asking for guidance. And when I opened my eyes, so I had noticed the flute had stopped playing quite a while ago, and you know, I had known that, you know, it was time for me to go. I opened my eyes. I was there all alone. And as it would be, it was a new moon. It was completely black. There was not 1 ounce of light coming down. And I was a little bit in a quandary, thinking, oh my gosh, here I am. I had ended up hiking up most of the way in bare feet because those sandals weren't serving me at all. And I started climbing down, started walking down, each step very, very thoughtful, knowing that there's cactuses all around, and just being very conscientious of the path. And I was praying. I was praying that I could make it safely to the bottom. And as I did that, I started thinking about praying really to God and asking, what is it in this moment that you would love for me to know? What is it that would help me on my journey? And so the wisdom that I received was, sometimes you have to walk your path alone, and many times you will feel like you are in complete darkness. And at those times, have faith and trust that you are not alone, and that you will always find your way, and that you will always be okay. So I wanted to share that with you, because no matter what your path is, where it's taking you, trust that whatever's going on is happening for the highest possible good, for your awareness, for your growth, and for what is yet to come. And what is it that you want to create? Because if you are having some contrast in your life, if you take a look back at the last couple of offerings that I gave, one was a photo, and it was about creating focus and clarity for what you want to create in your life, and drawing the attention to what it is you want to create. And don't give any attention to what you don't want, to the contrast of what you've had that you no longer want. Start focusing on what it is you wish to create and allow that energy to expand. And start letting go of some of that energy of what keeps you possibly stuck or in the direction that you no longer want. And then the one that I offered yesterday was about playfulness. What is it going to take to allow that joyful spirit inside you to come out, to fully be expressed and experienced? And I offered to get in the spirit of what you loved as a child. What can you do in the next 10 seconds that will allow you to feel that childlike spirit within you? And so I offered this to my sister today. One thing that she had said to me is she always wanted to dye her hair purple. And so we just took care of that. So I get to go check on her and see how her hair turned out, because she just got out of the shower and I just finished hearing the hair dryer over there. So that should be fun. And so actually it's called Playful Plum. How much more fun can we have but Playful Plum, right? And today we were cleaning out her closet, and so going through clothes, and she had a pair of bib overalls that one of my other sisters had given her, and they had these rainbow colored threads running through them, and it was so fun and hilarious. They had these huge bell bottoms. So I had to try them on, of course, and it was just hilarious. It's like, what is it that's going to bring out that joy in you? Whatever it is, do something silly. Remember how you used to dress up? Well, she has this huge necklace, this piece of costume jewelry that's this huge flower, and I'm like, that is just the silliest thing, so I'm going to have to shoot a video with it just to offer that, to get in the joyful spirit. So I just wanted to offer to you today these little bits of wisdom. Every day, in every way, you're getting better and better and better. And the wisdom of those that have come before us, those that we've considered our greatest teachers. And that's what I'm going to be sharing over these next few days with you. People that have been in my life that have taught me so much, that are now, I consider, part of my angelic cheerleading squad, because no matter the energy that you feel right now, if you're going through a loss, it can be rough and raw as you're riding the waves of grief, because sometimes it feels like it just won't ever end. But trust that it will, and trust that as soon as you let go of the sadness and the grief, that they're right there. They're always with you. The memories are right here in your heart, and they always have so much love and so much to offer and share with us. And especially if you think about those moments that you learned the most from them. And that's what I'm hoping to share with you over these next few days. There's going to be a lot more wisdom coming through, and it didn't come from me. It came from those that I've loved, those that have taught me, those that I've been blessed and graced with having the experience of being taught by. So who makes a difference in your world? Who has taught you the most? And in those people that you've possibly lost on your journey, because that's part of life, is losing those that we love, and they leave scars on us, but they're beautiful scars, beautiful in the way that we've gotten to love so deeply that it hurts when they leave us. And what a gift to know that we were loved so much and they were loved so much, and that's what makes a difference in our world. So, along with many, many other things, but that's one thing I wanted to focus with today. So, wishing you a beautiful evening and a beautiful start to a new year and a new decade coming up. And since this has been 10 years since I've been without Charlene, I started thinking about her today. Back in September, I had a beautiful memory come up in my Facebook memories, and it was that journey that I had that moment in Sedona, and I wrote about it. And so she's been in my heart a lot, but more so recently. And so asking you, who's made an impact in your life? Who's made a difference? Who's shared wisdom? Who have you learned from that's no longer here, but you can think back on their presence in your life and what a difference they've made? And I invite you to do that and be grateful. Say thank you, and know that they're still here with you. This is Jacqueline with Vibrational Energy Solutions, hoping you are making it a great day, a great finale to 2019. And what are you letting go of? And what are you stepping forward into in 2020 that's going to make it, helping you create a magnificent life that you would love to live? Bye for now.